Good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. Retired, don't give up. It's been quite a while since I've uploaded a video. In fact, it's been over 2 weeks, and just thought I'd give you an update as to why of that, and of course, then we'll get into the topic of today's video. A little over 2 weeks ago, in fact, shortly after I uploaded the last video of our motorcycle ride, I was out having coffee with a good friend. And it was, again, we're in the rainy season. So we got there. I took my car because of the rain. We got there, enjoyed our coffee and chatted, and the rain just did not let up. It was a fairly heavy rain for probably like 2 hours. At any rate, it finally let up, and we were ready to go. The problem was leaving the coffee shop. The staircase going down from the coffee shop, there is no railing. And then there is a flat area at the bottom of those stairs where you turn to the right and you walk and have to step down onto another small landing, which was not level, and then walk down these steps to the road. So I have the video I'm going to show you. Here are the steps in question. There's no railing on those steps and no railing here. Again, it was very wet. We managed to get down here and here, but I made the step. I made the step from here and here. Even this is on an angle. My foot went out from underneath and I pitched forward. I tried to get underneath, but unfortunately my body weight was too strong and I landed right here. I'm going to go in and talk to the owner now. The steps were very, very wet. They were green with algae and extremely slippery. And you could tell that they were slippery. So, I was being very, very careful when I made that first step onto the next landing. And I was also very worried about my friend behind me. He's the same age and also same body size, so we're not in the best of shape. At any rate, I stepped onto that platform. Once both feet were down, I guess I turned to see if he was all right, and my right foot slid out backwards, and that pitched my weight forward, and I started heading to the street. And I tried to step down the steps quickly so that to correct myself, but unfortunately I was already, the weight was going forward. The fulcrum was now no longer underneath me, and I was heading to the street, and I went down, and I went down hard. I did apparently I did do a type of barrel roll. I did damage to the back of my shoulder, and I laid there on the street for several seconds. Paul helped me up, and I just basically stared at the situation. And then we made our way to the car, and and I was in a lot of pain. We went to the hospital, had x-rays. Amazingly, there are no broken ribs, no broken bones, in fact, not even a fracture. So, obviously my tuck and roll was more successful than it looked. But the pain was certainly there, and I've been laid up for all this time. I'm now much better. I'm able to get around. I can actually get on the motorcycle. While I was laid up, I didn't have a whole lot to do. So I was on YouTube a lot, watched a lot of YouTube videos. I was also on the Asian News, which is a forum. I came across a topic called the grumpy foreigner. And I found that interesting because, like I say, we've been here 2 years. I've met several foreigners that I would classify as the grumpy foreigner. But for the most part, most of the people I've met here in northern Thailand have not been the case. So, at any rate, I'm reading through the forum and I came across a video, and the video highlighted this individual, who they classified as a grumpy foreigner. So I watched one of his videos, the one that was actually on the Asian news. It was called "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" It was 14 minutes long, and you see the gentleman. He's a Brit, and he starts talking about whether or not he wants to stay, whether he should stay in Thailand or he should go. I watched the whole thing. Now this was about 2 weeks ago when I watched this. So, but what I did do, I left a comment. Now, as of today, this 14-minute video has 11,000 views, and he did it 4 weeks ago. He has 11,700 subscribers. So I left the message, and I'm gonna quickly read my comment, and it will highlight basically what he was talking about in the video and my opinion on the content of the video. With respect to you, I watched your video in its entirely. Too many people watch a snippet and then comment. I found your video on Asian Now forum about miserable expats who can't stop complaining about Thailand but never leave, as an example. Now, I've met several expats like you, and to be honest, there are several categories of the grumpy foreigner. You seem to fit in most. I've only been here short of 2 years, so in truth, my opinion may be premature. But I find that unhappy people are unhappy wherever they are. You raise many legitimate points and admit the futility in it. Good for you. I see a man who's clearly suffering and feeling trapped. No, wait. On further investigation, I noticed when I went to your channel, you have many negative videos. In fact, all that I see are topics of negativity. You have found your niche, tying in with the grumpiness of the world. And I would say you're doing a pretty good job of it, seeing as every video has 8 to 10,000 views. And that's not bad money on YouTube. Lots of unhappy people in this world. It seems many have found your channel. Good on you. Smart too. My positive views on living in Thailand don't get anywhere near the views. But don't get me wrong, I'm not calling you out. Well, maybe a little. But you point out the real negative aspects of living in Thailand. Trust me, I point out the ludicrousy as well, and why you feel trapped, so I can sympathize. Maybe in 10 years, my channel, I will be just as negative. I certainly hope not. Good luck with your challenges, and your channel. Wish you well. Now I will watch why you regret getting married. So when I basically said I just spent over an hour on the comment, and will you reply, or will you just take the high road and delete? Nope, did not delete. It is still here, and there is no reply. So this gentleman, I'm not going to name his channel. I'm not interested in doing that. But he has, like I say, he has almost 12,000 subscribers. He has 458 videos, and he is in the video. He basically does the talk. In the last little while, like I say, here's one: the lunacy of Thailand. Thailand is a wonderful, different place to anything you might experience. When I speak of the lunacy of Thailand, I mean it with a great respect. The things you experience in Thailand may be different to your experiences west. It sometimes feels like lunacy, but that lunacy is fantastic. I love Thailand, and you will love this video. That was 3 months ago. I'm kind of wondering what's happened since then. He's in the last, say, 2 weeks, let's say 3 weeks. Is there love without money in Thailand? How can I keep my head about water in Thailand? I've been reporting again. He lives in a Thai apartment building, and he's like me. I talk loud. He talks loud, and obviously he was reported, and then he's complaining about boring YouTubers. So I guess he's not boring. And YouTube is saturated with rubbish. Well, I'm starting to believe that is true. My Thai wife doesn't care what I do. Thailand is changing. Wish the British would too. You can live in Thailand. Okay. Thailand is overrated. So is the food. This is not what. Okay. Then the worst jobs in Thailand. Could you do this? So that was just a day ago. Yeah, the man is definitely a grumpy foreigner, but yeah, he's getting views just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 13 days ago today. He's got 4.2 thousand views, 5.3 thousand views, 6.2 thousand views, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 views. As it gets a little farther, of course, it gets more views. So it's drawing people's interest to the negative parts of Thailand. It's not something that I would do. I try to show the more positive parts of Thailand, but I find it a little hard to watch, and so I don't watch any of his videos anymore. Now, my next point of interest that I want to bring up. I've come across more YouTube channels that talk about living in Thailand and the bad stories and so forth, and they are all AI. They are all AI. I come across this other video that I watched, and I watched it in its entirety. So this video I started watching was 34 minutes long. It's titled 82% of Western expats in Thailand lose everything. Here's why. Hey, got my interest. Because it's not necessarily a false accusation, but it got my interest. I left a long message, and I'm going to read through this message also, and it will again clearly describe what I'm getting at. First, I watched this in its entirety. Opinions don't matter if you haven't read the book. So, as a YouTuber, I'm becoming more and more disillusioned with the direction of social media. I will come back to this at the end. I don't want to insult any of the 300,000 viewers. Every story this AI speaks has a level of truth, and every situation can be addressed and vilified with a variable outcome. Now, I've come right out in the fact saying this is AI. And the reason why I'm going to say this is AI is that at no point do you see the person. At no point, all it is a random videos of someone walking through Bangkok. And, well, I know for a fact that with the advances in AI, you can put in parameters, you can put in the story and push enter, and it will generate a story for you. And not necessarily a false story, but it will generate a story. And this is what's happening more and more and more and more. I've come across 1, 2, 3, 4 channels that are relatively new that are doing just this. They all originate in the States. So I'm going to continue reading my comment. Although the dollar amounts, which I assume are in U.S. currency, are highly inflated, the truth be known, Thailand is not for everyone, And in AI's defense, it does give examples of the 18% that succeed that are entirely accurate. So my story, I certainly hope that I land in the 18% category, but the jury is not out yet. Such as I have several items that fall short. I have underlying conditions, so no insurance. I am self-insured. I don't have $500,000 or almost 12 million Thai baht squirreled away. I did in the first 6 months living here spent a large sum of money, about 1.5 million. Some accountable, some not, but clearly a learning curve, which all but the most weary expat will experience, so be warned. Which highlights AI's point about research and be prepared. I researched a full 2 years and was still unprepared for boots on the ground. Did I get lucky? I believe so. I bypassed the bar scene, was very careful with the choice of companion, learned as much about her and her history. I live on a government pension and a small personal RIF, which averages 50,000 baht a month. Not enough to live in Canada without supplement work income, but I like my naps. I keep a mailing address and bank account in Canada. I transfer the 50,000 each month. I'm married to my Thai wife. I live in her house. I'm 65. She is 50. Her only fault is thinking I want a younger woman. Temptation is like greed. Both land squarely in that 82%. I have a yellow book, a pink ID card, both motorcycle and car license. We have a car. I have an ADV 350, not the Harley back home, but amazing substitute here. I don't live in a big city. Yes, that can silently suck the money out of you. I live in northern rural Thailand. I like pad thai. I'll point out that at the beginning of the video it says you can't live on pad thai alone. So I like pad thai, but I also like having a hamburger, pizza, sushi, even a steak twice a month. This might be important. I drink very little. Okay, back to the Disillusioned. You may have guessed that I have a YouTube channel, which I'm telling you. I highlight the most positive parts of being retired and living in Thailand, and sometimes require the downside as well. I find it appalling how the negativity in this world draws more views and interest than flies drawn to a barnyard. Yes, the stories here are lessons and should be used in your decisions on moving anywhere, let alone Thailand. But it's the sheer volume of negative-based videos that have people flocking to the video screen, and AI is leading the way. This channel is a perfect example. 40 days old as of this comment, 16 videos, originating in the States, 6.5 thousand subscribers. Oh, by the way, it's now well over 7,000 subscribers. This video alone had 300,000 views and almost 3,000 comments. Not one video shows the author's face in the video. Also, if you go through all the comments, not one comment doesn't have a reply from the author. So essentially the comments just become a forum. Maybe this is the future of social media. Maybe. I know my non-monetized channel will always show my ugly mug. And if you think that this guy never gave up, then maybe there's hope for you. So here we are. Surprisingly, I thought it would be deleted, but it wasn't. And it gave me a topic for this video. And here I am. Yeah. And if you go through the comments, all the comments are talking about different things, coming to Thailand and yeah, I'm not arguing that the stories are not true, but the stories are made up. They give them a false name, and people should know that it's not a real person talking. And I can verify, and you've watched my videos long enough. I mean, quite often you'll see a break in my video from editing where I've said something that just doesn't make sense, and I delete that, change this, change that. And if you watch these videos, you will tell it's a monotone voice there's no mistakes, and it just flows. To be able to real time talk something like that, well, very few people do that. So there is no doubt it's AI, and they are cleaning up because YouTube pays by the views, and to go in 40 days to 7,000, over 7,000 subscribers is yeah, is quite remarkable. Am I jealous? Of course I am. I would love nothing better to have 7,000 subscribers. Am I going to change my format and start using AI myself, or start complaining more about the cost of living and anything and whatnot here in Thailand? No, I'm going to continue doing it the way I'm doing it. I'm retired. I am happy to be here. I plan on being here for a long time. Hopefully, these videos that are flooding YouTube, people will realize that they are not indeed real. They do have a message. So, is it worth watching? It depends on the individual. For the grumpy person, again, it's I feel for the other people in the world that are unhappy with where they are, and but you know if you're not happy where you are, then find some way to change it. There's always possibilities, and my only suggestion there is what you all know: just don't give up. Till next time, bye for now.